everyone, it's Milton again, here to take on the Star Wars prequel trilogy. It took longer for this to get going than I expected it to because things got a little complicated the last couple weeks. I've done a couple music reactions, which I'll be doing some more of these between the Star Wars episodes. I did the Beatles and Queen. The Queen one, huge reaction. Thanks everybody for commenting on that. And there's this acoustic guitar version of this Alep Bata. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm going to check it out, and that'll be interesting because my cousin Daniel hasn't seen it either. So today I'm starting the Star Wars prequels with Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. To those of you who have seen my other videos, you know what my story is. I grew up in a religious community called the Sibling Brotherhood in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we were very much cut off from pop culture of any type, except for some music and old musicals. We get to see things like that. But otherwise, our leader, Brother Brad, didn't allow us to interact much with, like I said, popular culture or any culture. So I had never seen Star Wars movies or other popular types of movies, heard a lot of music. So I'm catching up now that the Brotherhood got broken up by the DEA, and I'm living with my third cousin, Daniel. So Daniel, this is his office here, is introducing me to lots of stuff, and I'm reacting to it here. I had done the original Star Wars trilogy and loved it. I mean, really loved it. I mean, I connected with that in a way I was not expecting. I'm hoping for the same thing here. I've heard from my cousin and some other people I work with and everything that these aren't quite as loved. I mean, some people seem to really love them, other people don't. So I'm curious how it's going to shake out for me. I'll just catch you up in my personal life. I'm still doing my online history class, mostly ancient history right now, and I'm actually excited to do these Star Wars prequels because I'm reading about ancient Rome right now, going from a republic to an empire, and I think from what I know about the Star Wars universe, I'm going to be watching the process. I think it's about the republic becoming the empire, or the Empire's already in place, or I'm not quite sure how it shakes out, but I know that there was an old Republic, then it became an Empire, and that Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi and those guys were part of it, so I'm really excited to see that. Otherwise, in my personal life right now, still working my job at the grocery store doing night stock, putting some cash in my pocket so I can eventually get out on my own fully. I'm 43 years old and really just starting now. When I talked about my job before, I had brought up one of my coworkers had what I thought was a pager on his ankle. I now know that wasn't a pager. He was out on probation or parole. Which one is it? I can't remember. Maybe parole? I think parole. He was out on parole, and that pager kept it so he couldn't leave the area or something when he wasn't supposed to, which he did. That's how I learned what the thing on his ankle was. So he's no longer with us. Interestingly, I'm working with a new guy on Night Stock. His name is Flem. Now, of course, he wasn't born with the name Flem. His name is Jason. Now, Jason is called Flem by his own choice. I assumed when I first heard the name it was like a nasty nickname people gave him, but apparently he likes being called Flem. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not quite sure a lot of things with Flem. He's kind of entertaining to work with, and I mean, I'm like 8 hours a night. I'm pretty much, he and I are working together, and the stories he tells, I'm not comfortable talking about a lot of them here in like a public, social type forum like this because, well, they're gross, and some of them, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't completely understand. Just to give you a taste, I mean, recently he was talking about what he called a high moment in his life where he was, with his girlfriend, if you know what I mean. Well, also going to the bathrooms. Anyway. That's Flem. That's who I work with for 8 hours. I know I'm making him sound terrible, but he is kind of a nice guy. I'm just telling you the stories. They're kind of a lot to take sometimes. So anyway, enough with that. Let's get into Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I'm really excited. I'm not sure what to expect. I'm really looking forward to it. There it is, as always. I love how it always starts with that. I have to admit, I didn't expect taxes to come up in a Star Wars movie. It's an interesting thing to start with. I just realized something. Unlike the other ones, we're going to be seeing Jedi in their prime. I think that's what I'm most excited about here, is seeing real Jedi Knights, when they were still around. So we have some definitely some different villains this time. I'm assuming it's these guys in the ships. Whoa, what are these? You can tell that this was done a couple decades later because the special effects are very different.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't sense anything.
It's not about the mission, Master. It's something elsewhere. Elusive.
Don't center on your anxieties, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here.
The younger one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. When they first walked in, I assumed that the older one, you know, with the beard is Obi-Wan Kenobi, so...
Yes,
wow, Obi-Wan is much younger than I expected him to be in this.
What is it? This scheme of yours has failed, Lord Sidious. The blockade is finished.
Called him like Lord something, but I'm assuming that is the Emperor, right? I mean, it's obviously Emperor, same voice. He's got the robe and everything, but he called him something else.
My lord.
Captain, look!
Oh man! Oh man! They fire those lightsabers up, and I'm like already excited.
Roger.
So far, the Jedis are just as cool as I was hoping they'd be. I love how they're just going right through them. Wow! Oh,
Master, destroyers!
what are these things? I didn't know Jedi could, like, move with, like, super speed. It's interesting.
This is an odd play for the Trade Federation.
So, am I following this right? I mean, it's the Republic, and these are planets within the Republic, but because of, like, taxes or something, they have a civil war within the Republic? I'm not following it completely yet.
I will not condone a course of action that will lead us to war.
You're kind of at war already. It's about to land on your doorstep. Hey. Who is this guy?
Are you brainless?
I speak?
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out of here.
No, Mrs. Stay. Mr. Kojata Binks.
You remember how I mentioned in Return of the Jedi it seemed to be goofier than the other ones?
Where I grew up. 'Tis a hidden city.
With this guy, this movie just already is kind of moving right up the goofy ladder too. I'll tell you one thing, all the way the movie looks, like all the visuals, all look great.
And speed is on her way.
We're gonna speed you away.
So when you're a Jedi, do you just get to mess with people's brains? Like, that's just something you do? Because that seems...
Thank you for your help.
That seems a little shady.
Be gone with him.
I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping he'd get left behind. So far, I like the Jedi. The bad guys, I'm not... You know, I don't know if they're as intimidating as the Empire was, but, you know, I like the robots and everything. They're especially fun watching Jedis chop them up. But Jar Jar Binks so far isn't doing it for me. I don't know if other people feel otherwise, but I'm not loving him so far. Oh, man. The movie just comes to life anytime they fire up those lightsabers. I really hope the movie's just full of that. I don't think it's ever going to get old. So those robots just let them walk up on them, huh? These robots are making stormtroopers look really awesome. I mean, I thought no one shot worse or was worse than a stormtrooper, but I feel like I could take these robots out myself, just like running around swinging a shovel. That one looks familiar. Is that who I think it is? That's gotta be him. I know they all kind of look alike, but that has got to be him.
Not for a Sith. This is my apprentice, Darth Maul.
That guy looks like a demon. You remember what I said earlier about the bad guys not looking as intimidating? The Emperor there, and was Darth Maul he called him? They're like intimidating enough for the movie, so that's good. We got some bad guys who really are intimidating.
R2-D2, Your Highness.
It's him! Here's the interesting thing. You know, I saw Star Wars for the first time just a couple months ago, but they already feel like characters I've known my whole life. And I know we're not going to get Han Solo or Luke Skywalker or anything, or at least not as an adult, but R2-D2 being there and Obi-Wan, it just feels like old friends. And again, it's just weird because 3 months ago, I didn't even know who the characters were.
The spaceport is not going to be pleasant.
The Queen wishes it. She's curious about the planet.
You're concerned about bringing that girl with you, but you've got no problem with Jar Jar tagging along. I just don't think he's thinking clearly on this. Look, there's a drunk C-3PO. He looks like Brother Brad did coming out of the winter circles on this Saturday night.
My name is Anakin. I'm sorry. I don't fully understand. This is a strange place to me.
So, that's Anakin? Anakin's like a little boy? You know, I mentioned Obi-Wan looks young, but I still wasn't expecting Anakin to be a little boy, because when Obi-Wan described him, you know, in the first Star Wars, I got the idea that he was an older, at least like a teenager or young adult or something, so that's interesting. I was not expecting Anakin to be a kid.
Watch.
Where is everybody?
So C-3PO was built, or I guess you'd say created, by Darth Vader?
Well, I have acquired a part in a game of chance, the fastest ever built.
I hope you didn't kill
A lot of gambling going on here. I'm not much of a gambler myself. We had, just a little ways from us, the Ojibwa Casino. It was that tribe's casino, and I've been there a couple times to get Sister Helga from our group out off the slots. She'd get a little crazy on the slots, and you literally had to sometimes kind of pry her hand off it and escort her out. And
Either way,
you know, because of that place, I've never had a high regard for casinos. In fact, I've seen what casinos are in places like Las Vegas now and everything, and it's way better than, I mean, the Ojibwa Casino, the one I'm talking about, it was a small place, smelled like an ashtray. It's never encouraged me to be much of a gambler.
I didn't actually come here to free slaves.
Yeah, I didn't come here to free slaves. I came here to gamble on slave children in dangerous races. You know, he's gambling, is messing with people's brains. I guess the Jedi aren't quite as noble as I thought they'd be. Now he's using the Force to cheat in gambling. Okay. I gotta be honest, the movie had kind of slowed down a lot for me. It was kind of like, eh. But I like that we're getting into this race here. This seems like it's going to be fun. Here's a funny thing. In my headphones, you can hear the sound moving like from one to the other. It's kind of a cool effect. Okay. Again, this is... Yeah, this is more like it. This is a lot more... I love the way they're moving. It's like even a little more intense than when they were in those bikes in the forest in Return of the Jedi. One thing I want to mention is I love how every one of these movies has some new sort of like vehicle in it, whether it's a spaceship or these pod things or anything. I love how one of the things I'm always looking for is like what new sort of like vehicle or device or things like that are going to be in this movie. I know they make a lot of Star Wars toys, and I can see how. Again, it's really cool in my headphones. I can hear every one of the pods has like a slightly different sound to the way it runs. I'm just even more impressed with just whoever came up with all the different sound effects and stuff, because it's really cool. Whoa! I got a little feeling of vertigo there for a second when he started going down. That was a really cool shot. Yeah! Alright, Anakin! Okay, that definitely picked the movie up a bit. I had a good time watching that part. It was a lot of fun.
Son, my place is here. My future is here. It is time for you to let go.
I don't want things to change.
Something that comes up in this that I know a bit from personal experience is even when you want things to change, when you want to move forward, you want to move past your life the way it is, there's always a price to be paid for it, and that price can keep you from leaving. It did for me, and I mean, obviously, for Anakin it did too.
I can't do it, Mom. I just can't do it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. He's wanted to go his whole life, but he's got to leave something behind. Luke didn't have that. I mean, Luke's aunt and uncle were taken from him, and when he left Tatooine, there was nothing left for him. I think he even said that. But
Anakin, drop!
whoa! Yes! Lightsaber's out again. I'm a happy man. Wow. This is a really fast lightsaber fight compared to the ones in the previous movies. That was a disappointing end to what had started off as a really cool lightsaber fight.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hi. You're a Jedi too? Pleased to meet you.
Well, there's the big meeting. Neither one of them has any idea what they're in for in that relationship.
Our best choice would be to push for the election of a stronger Supreme Chancellor, one who could control the bureaucrats and give us justice.
This guy, you know, seemed very nice at first, but I'm getting a sense that he's, let's just say, pushing her along in a certain direction. I'm not trusting him either. Oh, look at Yoda! There's Yoda! So these are like the master Jedis, like the top Jedis here. And the midi-chlorian thing, it sounds kind of like clinical as opposed to mystical. I thought the Jedi would come across as nicer.
I object to the Senator's statements.
The chair does not recognize the Senator from the Trade Federation at this time.
So I feel like the movie starts to drag a bit when we get to these parts. Like, this looks really cool, the Senate, but it's just... it doesn't feel much like an adventure movie.
I move for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum's leadership.
Which is what that senator guy wanted to happen in the first place. It is interesting to me because I mentioned I'm reading ancient history, and that's one of the things that happened, you know, in ancient Rome as well, is the Republic, the Senate, had gotten to the point where it wasn't addressing the needs of its people very well. In fact, there's just nothing but civil wars and stuff. And that's how, like, Julius Caesar and then Augustus Caesar were able to come in and turn it into an empire with them in charge. I'm seeing how they used that real history in this story.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
You know, I see where Yoda's going with this, the fear to hate. Or I guess it was a fear to anger to hate. At the same time, can you expect a kid to not be concerned about his mom, who got left behind as a slave by your Jedis?
I am Queen Amidala. This is my decoy, my protection.
Padme's actually the queen?
My lord.
I actually didn't see that coming. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but I did not see that coming. I didn't notice that at all. I really like that shot of them coming out of the fog like that. Is anything in this real, or is this all like a computer? Am I watching a cartoon right now? Or are there any like elements like the ground or anything that's real? I'm thinking about seeing some lightsabers again. It's about time. Oh! Space battle coming up. If you watch my previous ones, the space fights are my favorite part. That's what I like the most. It's hard to take the fight seriously when you've got Jar Jar doing that stuff in the middle of it. Oh, here we go. Oh man, look at that guy. I mean, I know people have issues with this movie, but they gotta feel the same way I do, which is that Darth Maul is the coolest looking villain I've seen in these movies yet. I mean, he looks really cool. Ooh, 2 blades. Oh, so Anakin's heading out to space too, huh? I'm glad he gets to do something. He's not like Jar Jar messing everything up. Okay, this lightsaber fight is like beyond any of the other ones in the movie. This is intense. Ooh! Okay, that hurt my shoulder just looking at it, the way he landed. I have like a weak shoulder myself, and that's just from the way I sleep on it over the years. On the rope cot that I mostly slept on. And the way I'd sleep on it, and the way the ropes would kind of like go into my arm and stuff, it just... I kind of like have a weak shoulder, so when I see him land on his shoulder like that, it's like, oof. Okay, I said I was nervous for him, but I guess I didn't expect them to actually kill him.
In the Senate.
Viceroy, your occupation here has ended.
I'm not being faked out by the decoy thing this time. Yeah.
Now, Viceroy, we will discuss a new treaty.
Obi-Wan is ticked. Wow! Oh, they're going so fast! Wow, that last part with the Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, that was intense. I mean, I've only seen so much, but I've never seen a lightsaber fight go that fast. The actors must have really worked hard on it.
Look, one of ours out of the main hall.
Whoa! Not quite a Death Star blowing up, but it's pretty cool. Oh! This Darth is not going to be hanging around for 3 movies like Darth Vader, that's for sure.
And you, young Skywalker. We will watch your career with great interest.
Congratulations on your election, Chancellor.
Your boldness has saved our people, Your Majesty. It's you who should be congratulated. Together, we shall bring peace and prosperity.
So he's in charge now? Is he the Emperor? I'm saying that because he seemed to slip his way right in there, just like Julius Caesar did. And Caesar was never called the Emperor or anything, but he seems to be doing the same thing, which leads me to think that he's the Emperor. And when he said young Skywalker, his voice is same actor? Is that... Well, yeah, because you can tell when he's got the hood on and stuff. Yeah, that guy's the Emperor, right? Why didn't he disappear? I thought Jedis disappeared when they died.
The master or the apprentice?
Okay, that last shot pretty much cemented it. That senator guy is totally the Emperor. Here's something I'd like to see. They used to have like homecoming parades and stuff when I was a teenager in Hancock, which is the city near where our community was, but we were never allowed to go to them. You know, this COVID thing's over, I'd like to see a parade. Oh, got a new haircut. So that's it. Okay, so what did I think of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace? I liked it. I did. I didn't like it as much as the other movies, but I did like it. I know some people don't like it at all. They almost really hate it. And there were things I didn't like in the movie, but it didn't ruin the movie for me. Because the stuff that I did like, I loved the stuff with the Jedi. They were just as cool as I had hoped they'd be. If you haven't seen the original Star Wars reaction I did, Brother Brad, our leader, had actually taught us that the Jedi Knights were a real thing back in olden times and stuff, so I kind of had a mixed up idea of it, but since I was a little kid, I've been fantasizing about Jedis with their lightsabers fighting Sith Lords. It was everything I hoped it would be, especially that lightsaber fight with Darth Maul. That was the highlight of the whole movie for me. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that other people feel the same way about it, because that was just... You could drop that into any movie, it would be cool. You could drop that into a movie, you know, about a young couple falling in love, and then you just drop that fight in the middle of it and make the movie awesome instantly. It was great. I also like the pod race. That was really cool, and I also thought the finale, I liked the whole finale part, except the part with the Gungans. There's an overall issue I had with the movie, and that was Jar Jar. I didn't think he was very funny. He didn't really do anything. I don't even know half the time why they were keeping him around. My cousin Daniel didn't want to tell me much about this, but just like it wouldn't surprise me to know that everyone loved the lightsaber fight, it wouldn't surprise me to know that I'm not the only one who doesn't like Jar Jar. Also, I'm not sure how I feel about Anakin as a little kid. I don't know if I'm disappointed because I just thought of him being as older and that's what I was expecting to see, or if I really don't like him as a kid. I'm not sure. Also, there's a couple points in the movie where things just kind of slowed down and weren't that interesting. I mean, like I said, from the history stuff I've been reading, I should have found all that political stuff interesting, but in the movie, I don't know, it just kind of bogged it down, and I feel like it made it not feel like an adventure movie, if that makes any sort of sense. Oh, another quick update. Something I'm kind of excited and nervous about that I wanted to tell you. In earlier videos, I had talked about how Princess Leia reminded me of this girl from our community I knew named Elizabeth when we were kids, and I had a crush on her, and she's almost kind of like my hero because of the sassy attitude she had towards Brother Brad and the other leaders of our group. Due to this video getting out there, it was seen by someone who said to someone else, you know, don't you know people who were part of that group and everything, and said yes, and that person contacted me and let me know, and it turns out that one of the people that she knows is Elizabeth. So I know where Elizabeth is now. I know what she's doing. I don't know if I should reach out or not. I don't know how she feels about the whole thing. I don't know how to approach it. I'm still very much on the fence, but geez, the fact that I even found out where she is, that I know where she is now and I could reach out to her is exciting and honestly a little scary. So coming up, we got episode 2 of Attack of the Clones. Before that, we'll have that Bohemian Rhapsody, like acoustic guitar cover or whatever it was. I guess we'll find out when I see it. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this. I'm going to be taking you on my journey while I'm reacting to things. After Star Wars, we're going to move on to some other things. I'm going to keep responding or reacting to music. Please follow me on this, subscribe. We'll see how it goes. Thanks a lot, all. I'll see you soon.